I discovered that my wife had been lying to me about her workplace, and when I confronted her, she denied it, and serious problems began. At first, it was just little details that didn't add up. Sometimes she would leave unusually early, claiming she had an urgent meeting. Other times, she would return home much later than usual without giving me a clear explanation. I brushed it off at first, thinking she must be under a lot of pressure at work. But one random afternoon, everything changed. I happened to pass by the building where she said she still worked. To my shock, the entrance was closed, and the place looked abandoned. I asked the security guard nearby, and he casually told me that company shut down months ago. My heart sank instantly. I tried to convince myself I had misunderstood, that maybe they had moved to another location without me knowing. But the doubt had already taken root. The next day, I followed her from a distance after she left home. Instead of heading toward the office she always mentioned, she went to a completely different building, one I had never seen before. I parked nearby and watched. The place looked like a regular commercial building with a mix of small businesses, shops, and private offices. Nothing about it matched the story she had told me for months. Why would she keep something like this a secret? That evening, when she came home, I tried to act normal, but my mind was racing. Eventually, I couldn't hold it in any longer and confronted her. I told her exactly what I had seen. For a brief moment, her face froze in shock, almost like she had been caught off guard, but just as quickly she switched to defense. She claimed I must have confused her with someone else. She insisted she had been in a work meeting and had nothing to hide, but her words didn't convince me. Her tone was shaky, her movements nervous. Something was wrong. From that night on, our relationship began to change. Trust, the foundation of our marriage, was shaken to the core. Arguments started popping up over the smallest things. The house that once felt warm and peaceful now felt heavy, full of tension. Every time she left the house, I caught myself asking the same question. Where is she really going? I wanted to believe there was a reasonable explanation. Maybe her company had relocated. Maybe she was dealing with private issues she didn't want to share yet. But deep down, I felt the truth was far darker. The lies kept piling up. She would say she spent her day at the office, but then I'd find a coffee receipt from a cafe across town. She'd mentioned being with a female colleague, but I overheard her on the phone once, speaking softly with someone I didn't recognize. Day by day, my paranoia grew. I was no longer sure if I was uncovering the truth or just losing my mind. Every word she spoke, I analyzed. Every action she took, I questioned. I was trapped in a game I never asked to play, but one I couldn't escape. And the worst part? I knew she was hiding something big, something that could change everything about our marriage. After that night, things between us only grew worse. She tried to act as if everything was fine, laughing at dinner, asking about my day, pretending that life was normal. But behind her eyes, I could see something else. A flicker of fear, maybe guilt, maybe anger. I couldn't tell anymore. I began keeping quiet, watching, observing her every move without saying much. And strangely enough, the more silent I became, the more restless she grew. She started checking her phone constantly, sometimes even taking calls in another room. Whenever I walked in unexpectedly, she would lock the screen so fast it made my stomach twist. One evening, I noticed she had left her bag on the couch. Out of pure desperation, I opened it. Inside, there was nothing unusual at first. Wallet, keys, some makeup. But then I found a small envelope tucked deep inside the side pocket. It contained receipts, not from her supposed office cafeteria, but from restaurants and places miles away from her workplace. And all the receipts were signed under another name, a name I didn't recognize. My chest tightened. Was she using a different identity? Was she meeting someone regularly? I didn't know what to think. When I confronted her again, she didn't shout this time. Instead, she went cold. Her eyes hardened. Her voice became distant. She said, "If you keep digging where you're not supposed to, you'll regret it." That sentence haunted me. What did she mean by that? I couldn't sleep. My mind played endless scenarios. Was she involved in something illegal? Was she in danger herself? Or was I simply the fool who had been lied to all along? The next few days, I decided to follow her again. I made sure she didn't notice me. She took a different route this time, almost as if she suspected I might be watching. She drove across town, parked near that same building I had seen before, and walked in quickly. I waited outside for nearly 2 hours, my nerves burning. Finally, she came out, but she wasn't alone. A man followed her. They spoke quietly, too far for me to hear. He handed her a small folder, and she slipped it into her bag like it was nothing. Then they parted ways, as if they didn't know each other. My whole body was shaking as I watched. She got into her car, completely unaware I had seen everything. That night, she came home later than usual. I sat there, pretending to scroll on my phone, waiting for her to explain, to say something, anything. But she didn't. She acted like it was just another ordinary day. I realized then that she was living a double life. The woman I had married, the one I thought I knew, was hiding something so big, so dangerous, that she was willing to lie, deny, and even threaten me to keep it buried. And I had no idea how deep the truth went. The truth finally came out, though not in the way I expected. One evening, after days of silence and tension, she sat across from me at the kitchen table and simply confessed. She admitted that she hadn't been working at her old job for months. Instead, she had been secretly meeting with a man who was helping her start a private business. She had kept it hidden because she didn't want me to interfere or judge her plans until she was certain it would succeed. Hearing this crushed me. It wasn't just about the lie. It was about the betrayal of trust. She could have told me the truth from the beginning. Instead, she chose secrecy, manipulation, and denial. I realized then that our marriage wasn't built on the foundation I thought it was. Love alone wasn't enough anymore. The trust was broken, and some things, once shattered, can never truly be repaired. That night, I made the hardest decision of my life, to walk away, and that was the end of us. And so our story comes to an end today. But in the world of Max fables, every tale carries a lesson and leaves an impact. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you won't miss our upcoming tales. Here, where stories come to life.